Thank you all for being here this evening. I would like to call the March 18th City Council meeting to order. Thank you. I will call on Ward 9, Ms. Brittany Bogard for the invocation.
I've invited Darwin Marshall to come forward and do the invocation.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Marshall.
Good evening, everyone. Let's bow our heads and we'll pray. Father in heaven, first of all, I'd just like to say thank you for America and the freedoms we have and the men and women that have fought and died down through the ages that we could have this great nation. And Lord, I'm thankful for Hopkinsville. I thank you, Lord, that we've got a city that we can build our homes and have good jobs and Lord, raise our kids. A clean city, Father, and I just thank you for that. Lord, I pray for this council. I pray that each and every one of them would have the wisdom that they need to make the right decisions, Father. And I thank you that they see prayer important enough to start their sessions with prayer, Father. And I pray that they never change that policy. I just pray tonight, Lord, that you'd bless them in a real special way and help them to make decisions that be pleasing to you and right for this city. Just work in their lives and help them to be able to do whatever's necessary to keep Hopkinsville the great city that it is right now. We ask it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Please rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I call on the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Smith.
Present.
Councilmember Stallings. Here. Councilmember Marsh.
Here.
Councilmember Crabtree.
Here.
Councilmember Craig. Here. Councilmember Martin. Councilmember Sumner.
Here.
Councilmember Meek. Councilmember Bogard.
Present.
Councilmember Velez.
Here.
Councilmember Bell.
Here.
Councilmember Drought.
Here.
And we have a quorum.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 5 will be awards and recognitions. We have none on this schedule tonight. I will move to item 6, public comments. If anyone in the audience would like to come and speak at the podium, please come up and speak. Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Lala Hussey. I've been here before, and I've talked to the mayor. I've talked to a couple of other people. Also, Amanda, who's over the complex where I live. She has been very gracious in helping me to move from this apartment to that apartment. But there are some fumes that's coming not from the heating unit, back there. The mayor has sent the fire department out there. I have called the fire department. They have come out. They had this little thing in the hand. They did it around, see if they could detect anything. But if you just walk in and you stay there 5 minutes, you're not going to smell the fumes. You got to stay there for a while because they don't come on schedule. The fumes just come out when they feel like it. Okay. They are not a good smell. I'm not the only person that has that problem in that apartment building. There are other people that has different problems, but they won't come forward and say what their problem is. I don't know it's because they're afraid of retribution or don't want to, I don't know what it is. But I'm not trying to create a problem. I'm just trying to get some help with the situation that I have. It's not pleasant when you're sitting in a chair or in a room, and next thing you know, here comes some god-awful smelling fumes coming out from behind that unit. I don't know if it's mold. I don't know what it is. Each time that I have gone from one apartment to another apartment, I had a medical release. My doctor ordered it. It's not because I tell Amanda that I don't like this apartment and I want to move. It's not that. It's a medical move. I'm just asking for help. Somebody to come in, stay a while, see if they can detect the fumes that I detect. And I'm not the only person that has that such problem in that building. But like I said, they just won't come forward and talk about it. And Amanda is a very sweet person. She does everything that she can for you. And I believe she has done everything in her power to solve the situation. I just think she just doesn't know what it is and what to do. I'm just asking for help. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, I'm
Good
a little
evening.
nervous. I've never done this before.
That's okay. Take
What
your
about-
time.
My name is Dolores Williams. I also live at Westwood Senior Homes, and I can concur what Ms. Uzla said, but I'm coming with some other situations that I have asked for help for over a year, and we can't seem to get anything resolved about it. I am not against anybody that smokes. I'm not saying anything as far as condemning anybody, but our facility is a non-smoking building.
Yes, ma'am.
It's a one strike, you're out. There is no smoking in the building. There is no smoking in the rooms. There is no smoking on the property. And I have smelled cigarette smoke coming into my room. I won't give the name of the neighbor, but it will wake me up. It makes me nauseated. You can go past my window, outside my window, and you can also see I have counted up to 50 cigarette butts laying out below my window from people smoking out there or people smoking, throwing them out their window because they're too darn lazy to go somewhere else distantly and smoke. Another problem that I have had that I have mentioned, and my reply is I can't do anything about it. That's what Miss Amanda says. She says it's illegal, and she says, but she can't do anything about it, that I would have to call the police. There is a lot of marijuana in our building. There is strong marijuana odor. I am very allergic to smoke either way. I was woke up one night a couple of weeks ago by strong marijuana smoke. I got up, I was vomiting. Ended up with a strong headache. My dog, she's just a small poodle. She's allergic to smoke. She threw up all over the bed. And again, it is a non-smoking building. I mean, I have got the part of the lease here, it says no smoking is allowed. No smoking on the property, no smoking in the rooms. And I can't seem to get anywhere with it. All I get is I'll say something. But with the marijuana, it's like I can't do anything about it. But I said, this is a non-smoking building. That's still smoke. I don't care if it's marijuana. I don't care if it's cigarettes. It's still smoke. A lot of those people in the building, some of them have major difficulty breathing. I can speak for Ms. Uzzle. The problem that she is having has caused her a lot of difficulty in her breathing. And I can vouch for that. I have had that problem a few times where it would smell like burnt rubber coming out of the unit in the wall. I got up one morning about 3 o'clock in the morning to go get a drink of water, and I keep my bedroom door closed. I come into the living room, and I thought, my God, something on fire. And I went around and was feeling all the wall outlets to see if anything was hot, and it was coming from the wall unit. And like I said, I can vouch for her. We have drugs in that building. I have mentioned this several times. I'm scared because I overheard, and they didn't know I overheard this, but they said that if you get me in trouble, you will have slashed tires, and I carry a knife on me. I heard it, and I heard them mention my name. I'm scared. I don't feel safe there. I pay my rent, and I abide by the lease's rules, and I feel like everyone else should too. They are selling drugs on that property. I have seen it for myself. Others have seen it for themselves. But as Ms. Uzzle says, why they're not here or why they don't ever come, I think it's out of fear. Whether it's fear of repercussion or whether it's fear of somebody else living in the building and you find out that you said something about them. But I don't feel safe. The door is we're supposed to have a lock system at night. The front door, many times on the inside door, people unlock it for people can come in and out after hours. And a lot of us don't feel safe. We have people that have, and I'm hoping I'm coming across in the right way. But we have had people that have been in jail for drugs for several months. And we was all told they're not allowed back in the building. They cannot come back in the building because of their charges and because of the drugs.
Okay.
Well, lo and behold, they're back in and they're still in.
All right, we will look into this some more. I know she's having a problem with her breathing, and we will talk to Miss Amanda and Miss Faulkner over there about this and see what we can come up with for you.
But we need help.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody's afraid to say anything, but I guess I finally got enough guts.
Okay. Well, we'll see if we can help you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I would like to say one other thing. I know you're saying, well, if you're having these problems, why don't you move? I like my apartment. I like where I live. I can walk right out of my door, come outside, sit out there, enjoy the fresh air. I like where I live. I don't want to move.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all.
Any more other public comments this evening?
How's everybody doing? Is that a little loud? Or is that me?
You're good.
Well, first I want to say thank you for council men, women, for doing the job that you do every day. I was, I got quite a bit to go through. I don't know how I'm going to get it. Probably have to email you on some things.
Okay.
I was told one time I'm a public figure here in Hopkinsville, so I'm going to try to say what I need to say in that position. I'm sorry, Ardell Owens, Dirt Avenue Association President. Okay, and on that note, when I talk here, I'm talking for the people of Dirt Avenue. So whatever I say, whatever's brought to my attention. Like I said, what I'm gonna try to do is just go through, because I know our time limit. Thank you, Vance, and like I said, we hadn't had a meeting in so while. Well, y'all hadn't. You helped me out with the flooding on Hopkinsville Lane. Thank you, Jason. You helped me out with the those little black poles that was around different neighborhoods when gunshot noise or something like, I don't know what you call them, but anyway, I reached out to them on certain things and they gave me the information I need to have. But let's just go with need to know, and this is thing right here that I get from the city, Miss Linda and Miss Hudson, every month, what's going on in Hopkinsville. But I think it's important for me being the president of the neighborhood association that if it's something I need to know per Dirt Avenue Association, I just appreciate somebody to tell me. You know, what's worst thing is going to a meeting, association meeting, and something is brought to my attention and I have no clue of it. So if I'm a public figure, I'm asking you 12, is let me know what's going on so I can give it to them, because it involves them as well as involves me. And I can reference on, let's talk about, I got 25 houses in Dirt Avenue that need some kind of protection. And you can just tell me who that goes to that. If cars, we'll say Sharp and McKee, we need some kind of border there that if something happens, not running into that house. So barricades, steel poles, or however you define it, we need something in order. And I'll email this to you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
But there's 25 houses that I counted. And that's still included in my area, but no to say. There is a car lot on 13th Street. We need to, there's an issue there. It's not actually a car lot, but I think you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
So we need to address that because that was brought to my attention. Still holding on answers on Quarry Road. What are we doing there to keep anybody, when they own Quarry Road, that they're going into a river?
Right.
I need follow up on that. And I'm gonna say follow up. When I talk right now, I'm talking any 12. Doesn't matter if you got the information, give it to me. There was over on Maple, there was a dog bite. A dog that bit a resident over there. Thank you, Mr. Newby. He let me know what's going on, and that was taken care of.
Okay.
But still the same. That's a part of some information that, when I went to the young man's house, he told me that it happened, but I told him I didn't know. So I don't know who had the information or if the information was given out. I'm just saying, for me to go to his house, I would have rather went to his house to ask him if he's okay than to just stop there and then he told me what happened. And that was the after fact. So I'm just asking anytime, like I need to know. If I need to know, please let me know.
Yes, sir.
Blocking off streets. You can block off any street here in Hopkins if you want to. And that's another thing. That's probably a thing I need to know, because going into meetings and certain people call me, even though if the city approves a closure of any given street, that one resident may not want to talk up to the people that want that street closed. But if I knew, I would probably go to them and say, well, this is what's going to happen, and we're going to make sure you're able to get out or in. So, again, need to know. Sorry. Kate Street. A lady asked me, can we make Kate Street one way? Either, I think the lady said that she wanted to go from Hope down. 'Cause there's if you can do that, she wants that to be one way. If you can think about it and look at it and whatever you need to do, if you can take care of that for me, I appreciate it. Belmont Street, when you come down Belmont, that little yield sign, nobody know what yields mean, okay? I drive the church van, Mount Olive Church plug, but I drive the church van every morning, and when I come down that hill, I stop, because I usually got somebody in the van, but I stop. But maybe 2 Sundays ago, wasn't anything going on, so I came down the hill, and just when I eased on out, the car shot past, didn't even stop the yield sign, came right on by, and they gave me the finger like I did something wrong. So can we do a stop sign, light? I don't know what, but somebody's going to get hurt coming off. That's an area that we need to really look at.
We'll have to look into that with the state, well, it's a state road, 2 state roads meet right there. We'll have
Right,
to look
yeah.
into that.
I'll also follow up with Ms. Magaline, the magistrate, and talk to her about it. Like I said, I just want to go ahead and put it out on record that we talked about it, but somebody's going to get hurt coming down there. Okay, so we can do that. Sorry. Corey, Black Poles. Can I get a feedback, email, call, text on why y'all took those black poles, and I'm saying black poles because I don't know what you call them, but can I get a feedback on it? Because when I go back into meeting, I can explain it to them why those were taken down.
If you'll just email me what you got right there,
Absolutely.
I'll answer every one of them questions for you, and I'll make sure Mike, Public Works, and the police department answer our questions there
Yeah,
too.
yes, I should appreciate it, and I will do that. Dog bites, drain. Also on College and, College and Broad. I went there Saturday when it's raining. It's flooding all up and down that street. It's that drainage on both sides of, between College and Broad. That whole side needs to be cleaned out. I sit there and looked at water, just go over the drainage. And then on one side, the lady, one of the residents couldn't get out because of the flooding. So we can do something to clear that out. I appreciate it. Okay. Another important question, like I said, and you don't have to answer it now, but like I said, just like feedback, is the city council. Okay.
Just email me all that, Ardell, and I will get it took care of, and me and you'll have a phone call about that tomorrow.
Please.
Okay.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Any other public comments this evening? Okay. Seeing none, we'll go into mayor's comments. We have the Youth Art Month display at the Alhambra. The Ag Breakfast was a big success this morning at the Bruce. Campanile 9 to 5 performance was great last weekend. And I'd like to give a shout out to Melissa, Alyssa, and Brett over at the museum. They're doing great jobs. Keep moving us forward on that. And would like for them to remember they have another big program this weekend at the Alhambra with the schools. So if you check in with Miss Prim on that, we'd be glad to help you with that. We got trash for trash stuff. Since the weather's getting warmer, I want everybody to be thinking about that and get with Mike and Dave and them over at Public Works. We have a youth tournament, wrestling tournament at the Sportsplex on the 22nd, and men to be basketball camp at the Sportsplex on from 3:31 to 4:02. So if you could get out and see our kids and show support and see what's going on in our community. Thank you. All righty, we will move into item 8, reports from officer and committee speakers. Item A, Newcomb Oil.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that we send this one back to the council of the whole.
Do you want to hear from Tom first?
Either way you want to do it.
We let Tom speak and then we'll do that.
Fair enough.
Okay, Tom?
Thank you, Mayor, Council. In your packet, you have information regarding an original zoning request from Newcomb Oil Company. You may be familiar with this property. This property was annexed into the city back in December of last year. The property is unzoned, currently being developed as a 5-star gasoline service station convenience store. The applicant has requested commercial zoning. We held a public hearing and received no negative comments on this request. And if you would flip through some of the slides, this is about 4.1 acres and just a few property photos. This is across from Bill Bryan Boulevard, the old industrial park. Request goes. Also, no negative comments at the public hearing. Property was advertised. Adjoining property owners were notified. The Planning Commission, in considering the request, found it an agreed comprehensive plan consistent with economic development and other changes in this area, and has forwarded to you a unanimous favorable recommendation. Mayor, if any council members have any questions, be happy to answer them.
Now, I'll go back to Chuck. We'll forward it to.
Now let's make a motion to go back or send it back to council of the whole.
Right.
There we go.
Good. We have a second?
I'll second it so we can discuss it.
Okay. All right. Any questions for Tom?
you know, we're going to vote on it to send it back to the committee of the whole, so my questions can be asked then.
Okay,
But I was
that's no
just going
problem.
to say, you know, I was just, yeah.
Okay, no problem. All right. We have a motion and a second to send it to committee vote. All those in favor say aye.
Uh,
Any opposed?
Nay.
Have one nay. All right. Thank you, Tom. All righty. Monthly financial statements, Melissa Clayton.
Good evening.
Good evening.
All right, it's my pleasure to bring you guys the monthly financial report for the month of February. We didn't have any interfund transfers in the month of February, so year-to-date interfund transfers 43,069. Remaining balance is the interfund is 53,931. Our payroll tax revenue for the month of February through 8 months is $15,474,528. And that's an increase in equivalent payroll of 12.1%. Our property tax revenue is at $5,507,531 through February. And our insurance premium tax, so far we've collected $5,608,788, which is an increase in equivalent insurance premiums of 15.2% for the year. Our business licenses so far, we've collected $1,473,346. And while we're on business licenses, I do have an announcement or just an update for you guys. We have learned that the IRS and the state of Kentucky have granted an extension for when federal taxes are due for Kentucky residents due to the federal declaration that was declared from February 14th. So taxes won't be due until November 3rd for Kentucky residents. So that means that there's a very good chance that our business license revenue won't come in because all of our business licenses are connected to the federal tax returns. And if they don't have to file their tax returns, then they can't file their business licenses with us. So we'll be granting that extension as well because we can't require them to turn in their federal taxes if they haven't done them yet. So you'll be seeing some news releases and stuff about that soon. But it's going to affect our business license revenue, and it's also going to be very hard to project next year due to the fact that we're going to receive part of this year and next year. It's going to be very complicated. So it's going to mess with our numbers on business license revenue. So I just wanted to update you guys on that. So the general fund, we started the year with $348,328 in prior year encumbrances. We've collected $39,186,762. We have spent $37,300,594, giving us positive revenue over expenses of $2,234,496. If we compare that to where we were through 8 months last year, we are running behind where we were this time last year by about $1.2 million. The Municipal Road Aid Fund, we started the year with $37,002 in encumbrances. We've collected $503,427. We have spent $755,408. So we have more expenses than we have revenue in our MRA fund. As far as capital goes, we started the year with prior year encumbrances of $348,328. We've collected year to date in the capital fund $1,723,432, and we have spent $1,329,291, giving us positive revenue over expenses in the capital fund of $742,469. As we look at our departmental expenses, if all things were spent equally through 8 months, each department would be at 66.67%. So admin is at 62.8. The tax department was at 59.9. Information technology was at 69.4. Legislative was at 67.8. In our public safety area, the police department was at 68.1, ECC is at 69.4, fire department is at 68.0, EMS is at 77.9, and fire prevention is at 60.1. In our Public Works area, Public Works admin's at 63.4, city maintenance is at 62.2, Fort Campbell contracts is at 47.1, the service center is at 66%, Parks and Rec was at 63.7, the Sportsplex was at 58.1, and the Aquatic Center is still at 63.4. Overall, the general fund was at 67.5% of total expenses have been spent, so we're running right about on budget. MRA is at 78.5, and the capital fund is only at 35.9% so far. Our cash fund balance, we started the year with $17,617,425. We have year-to-date receipts of $39,186,762. We have spent $37,300,594, giving us our cash balance at February 28th of $19,503,593. Less our encumbrances gives us our available cash at $19,386,640. Our available cash minus our reserve accounts gives us our unassigned cash fund balance at $18,128,030, and that is 41.5% of our adjusted operating budget. And that's a comparison between last year and this year where we were on our unassigned and our available cash. And then our investment fund, we invested $1,201,994. We've collected year-to-date interest of $4,180, and then our unrealized gain or market change was at $20,780, giving us our market value at $1,226,954 through 2 months. I'd be happy to answer any questions you guys might have about the monthly financial report.
Any questions from Ms. Clayton? Got a motion to accept? Seconded by Mike. Thank you. I've got a motion on the floor. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Right, thank you. I move item 9, approval of minutes for March 1, 2025 special call meeting.
So moved.
Second.
I got Amy and Chuck. And any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All righty. Item B, March 4th, 2025 regular meeting. Minutes.
So moved.
Got Chuck
Second.
and Brittany. All righty. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, seeing none. Item 10, ordinance 05-2025, Ronald K. Berry property annexation, first reading.
An ordinance annexing approximately 51.66 acres into the city of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, Ronald K. Berry property. Whereas the city of Hopkinsville has declared it desirable to annex certain unincorporated property known as the Ronald K. Berry property into the city of Hopkinsville limits. And whereas the subject property is adjacent to the city's current boundaries and is urban in character, suitable for development for urban purposes. And whereas Ronald Kent Berry and Donna Berry gave prior written consent to annexation, copies of which are on file at the Christian County Courthouse. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky as follows. Section 1, pursuant to KRS 81A.410 and 81A.412, Hopkinsville City Council hereby annexes the following unincorporated area of Christian County into the city limits of Hopkinsville. A portion of land consisting of approximately 51.66 acres, more particularly described in Exhibit A attached here to and incorporated herein by reference as if fully set forth. Hopkinsville City Council hereby declares the service delivery plan and city taxes will be in effect on the first day after publication and notice as required in KRS 81A.470 and KRS 81A.475 have been met. Section 2, if any section, subsection, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance is held unconstitutional or otherwise invalid, such infirmity shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of this ordinance. Section 3, any and all existing ordinances inconsistent with this ordinance are hereby repealed. Section 4, this ordinance shall take effect after its passage and publication according to law.
Okay.
So moved.
You got
Second.
Got Amy and Brittany. All righty. Any discussion? Call the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Marsh,
Yes.
Councilmember Crabtree,
Yes.
Councilmember Craig,
Yes.
Councilmember Sumner, Councilmember Bogard,
Yes.
Councilmember Velez,
Yes.
Councilmember Bell, Councilmember Drought,
Yes.
Councilmember Smith,
Yes.
Councilmember Stallings.
Yes.
That passes on first reading.
All righty, item 12, Municipal Order 12-2025, Hoptown Helps.
Whereas the City of Hopkinsville wishes to establish a grant program titled Hoptown Helps for the sole purpose of granting funds to nonprofit agencies within the city limits of Hopkinsville. And whereas the City of Hopkinsville should equitably consider financial contribution requests on an annual basis. And whereas an annual request for a grant from the Hoptown Helps grant program will only be permissible through the requirements outlined in the attached policy and are subject to adequate budgetary funding through the annual budget process approved by Hopkinsville City Council.
So moved.
Amy?
Second. Second.
Chuck? All righty, any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All righty. Item 12, other. Any other business before I bring any up? All righty. We have a Hopkinsville, we have a loan to bring up as a municipal order for $375,000 for economic development funds to be used to pay 50% of the actual cost of the Hopkinsville Industrial Foundation's interest payment due on March 31st. And I'd like to bring that to you, to the city council to vote on to move forward on. Yep.
So, I don't know about the rest of council, but the mayor briefed me on this afternoon. One, it didn't follow our regular process going to the council of the whole and then council and then the second council. The second thing is I think if we are doing our jobs as council people, we've got some questions we need to ask. And my thought is to bring those people in so we can ask those questions and move it back to the next appropriate council of the whole meeting. And of course, that'd be up to Councilman Martin. So that's my motion, basically just to move it back so we have an opportunity to ask the right questions.
Second.
Second on
I'll give Clayton.
Clayton and Don, so,
He
okay.
beat me to it.
All righty, we have a motion and a second on that to move it back to the committee of the whole. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All righty. All right, now, any other thing under other? Okay, seeing that, we go into councilman comments, item 13. The councilman comments. All righty, no councilman comments. We go into item 14, closed session per KRS 61.81. And I need a motion to go into closed session.
Make a motion.
Motion.
For the record, that is for discussion of economic development proposal under KRS 61.8101G and also pending litigation 61.8101C. Is that your motion?
Yes.
Thank you.
And seconded by, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All righty. Any opposed? Okay. We moved into closed
I learned.
Turn this on. Light ain't on. All righty, we're back out of closed session and no action was taken in closed session. And now we'll move ourselves into item 15, Ward 9, adjournment.
I would just like to close with a quote from Winston Churchill. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts.
Got a motion to adjourn from you? Second from Clayton. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.